Hello everyone, welcome and thank you so much for staying with me through Second Sin. Life at the moment is a bit of a mess around here, so you may find, those who know me well, that my mood or the sound of it will change from day to day. You will also notice a strange hoarseness, a sort of vibrating vocal fry from time to time. It's okay, it will be okay, and it is being taken care of. School is starting on Wednesday, so you can look forward to more entertainment from me. I will have my first guest on. I'm just waiting for him to make time for me. He's still on holiday, but flying back today. Okay, and then guys, I'm going to put more work, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into my work this year. And all I ask of you in return is to please help promote my work. Get your mothers, fathers, uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, neighbors, colleagues, trash collectors, hairdressers, everybody you come across in your daily life to subscribe to this channel first and foremost, and then to one of my other endeavors if they can or want to. The strive for 50,000 subscribers this year is definitely not asking much, and subscribing is free. So please help a sister out and press that darn subscribe button. Okay, moving on. After the video I dropped, what's a day before yesterday, and others I have listened to over the past 2-3 weeks, I came to understand that people, including myself, have the mere basic idea of what IPP status really is. And on top of that, I think I can confidently say that I do not think Harry and Meghan know either. They likely think it will give them full immunity for life. Shame, poor delusional idiots. It won't. So after I went and studied the small print, so you will not have to, here is what I learned. Here is the formal explanation. The status of an internationally protected person, IPP, is a designation under international law, primarily defined by the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Crimes against Internationally Protected Persons, including diplomatic agents. It is designed to ensure the safety and dignity of specific individuals to allow for the maintenance of normal international relations. Okay, so now to the actual law, and I'm going to use the American one, okay? And again, it comes from Cornell University. So thank you, Cornell. You are the best, way above the rest. Okay, so I'm reading from the actual source. 18 USC 1116B4. The 4 means clause 4. Internationally protected person means A chief of state or the political equivalent, head of government or the foreign minister, whenever such person is in a country other than his own and any member of his family accompanying him, or B, any other representative, officer, employee, or agent of the United States government, a foreign government or international organization who at the time and place concerned is entitled pursuant to international law to special protection against attack upon his person freedom or dignity, and any member of his family then forming part of his household. Now, my dears, there are a number of legal frameworks, but the three main ones being the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Crimes Against Internationally Protected Persons of 1973. Now, this mandates state action. Then there is the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations and Consular Relations, which defines the privileges of IPPs. And thirdly, the one I already mentioned, US Law 18 USC 1116B4. Now, some of these conventions also sets out letter for letter exactly who qualifies for IPP status. So you can also add to the list prisoners of war, medical or religious personnel, relief workers, but whereas IPP normally refers to high-ranking diplomats, this refers more to prisoners of war, relief workers, and then it's more treated under IHL, which is your international human rights law. But I'm not going to bore you to death with legalese and what ifs and what whens, wheres, etc., etc. It's important, but not important for the purposes of this video. So my next question was, what happens if a person with IPP status commits a crime in his host country? Now here's the answer. Diplomatic agents, those with the highest immunity, for instance, heads of state, ambassadors, etc., and their immediate family generally have absolute immunity from criminal jurisdiction of the host country. Applicable, obviously, the 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. Okay, now they cannot be arrested, detained, or prosecuted by local authorities for any crime, from minor traffic offences to serious felonies. The host country's options are limited. Number one, they can request that the home country waive the immunity, or they can, number two, declare the person persona non grata and require them to leave the country. If the home country waives the immunity, the person can be prosecuted in the host country's courts, but most commonly the home country will recall the person and prosecute them under their own laws. Then there are also lower level IPPs, and those are only immune to the host country's laws for acts performed in their official function. Everything else they can be arrested for and prosecuted under the laws of the host country. Okay, now, my dearest of friends, for the crux of the matter, and the clever people can now again argue until they are blue and purple in the face. But if Harry is on an A1 or A2 visa in the United States of America, he automatically has IPP status. I did not know that. I did not even quite believe it when I read it. But it is true. I went and obviously irritated someone, some official at the High Commission office in Cape Town. An A1 visa to the United States of America, which is issued to all ambassadors, diplomats, head of state, and other high-ranking officials grants full FULL immunity, which then means, ta-da, IPP. So, unless Harry is not on an A1 or A2 visa, he has IPP status in America. There's nothing I can do about it or even say about it. And if you don't believe me, phone your High Commission or embassy, or if you are American, I guess you contact Homeland Security, Internal Affairs. I really don't know, but it would be one of those. Okay, now all of us are under the impression that in such a case, the host country has to provide security all the time and pay for it. And that, my dears, I've also learned, is not true. So, I went and asked just to make sure. In America, the DSS, Diplomatic Security Service, is mainly responsible for protecting diplomats. The U.S. Secret Service has the jurisdiction and authority to protect foreign diplomats unless they decline the service. So here is what the United States High Commission in Cape Town stated. The United States government, primarily through the Department of State's Diplomatic Security Service, takes on the responsibility for securing A1 visa holders in the United States of America. So, no wonder we have Chris Sanchez looking after Harry and Meghan. Chris Sanchez, who also looked after Obama and who was a secret agent. And I think that despite all the information in the public domain, Chris Sanchez is likely still a Secret Service agent. You may not agree. I'm just saying. Okay, but before you go smacking President Trump, Marco Rubio and their buddies, just hang on. I'm not finished yet. Listen to this. Foreign bodyguards are not allowed to carry firearms in the United States unless they are part of an official diplomatic detail with specific diplomatic visas. Foreign agents protecting VIPs like presidents, kings, or diplomats under A1 or NATO status. Okay. The other option is that they pass a background check and obtain United States licenses. So, allow me to point out that David Langdown is allowed to carry in both the United Kingdom and the United States. And you know what? This is not a rumor. We actually saw it with our own eyes, and just to make sure, I had a buddy go check for me. And yes, he has licenses to carry in both countries. So, my dear friends, we can be relatively sure that Harry is on an A1 visa. Undeservedly so, but he is, which means that he also has IPP status, whether we like it or not, whether he deserves it or not. It is also true that Harry's fight for United Kingdom Royal Met protection has nothing to do with armed guards, because like I said, David Langdown is able to carry a firearm in the United Kingdom, and Chris Sanchez likely also. It is all about status. He wants what William has: 24-hour royal security for him, his wife and children, and all the bells and whistles, the outriders, the traffic stops, the flashing lights. Wait, actually, Harry does not want what William has. He wants what his father has, because William does not even always travel with all the bells and whistles, only when he is attending official events and meetings. Now, as far as the cost of Harry's current security, it is quite possible that the United States and the United Kingdom feel that Harry should pay a portion of it, half or a third, or who knows. That is indeed quite normal, and it happens. This kind of thing is determined on a case-by-case basis, and there are cases where Americans take care of the VIP, but then the United States bill their government for it. There are cases where the VIP take care of his own security because he wants it that way, and cases where the United States provide full security and carries the full cost thereof. It is all case by case, and the American security services indeed work closely with the home country's security services and diplomatic corps to determine how it will be done. Okay. So, my dear friends, you need to take all of this and rethink what you thought of Harry's security, because one way or another we had been lied to. And that is why Harry's visits looked like royal visits when they travelled to Nigeria, Colombia, and when he travelled to Ukraine. And I'm telling you now that it was 100% fully planned that Harry travelled to the Ukraine at the same time as Yvette Cooper. Thank you. I rest my case for now, because you're not going to believe it. There is more. So until we meet again on the next one, please take care of yourselves and stay safe. Bye.